Boom, boom, boom. Let's go back to my room. We can do it all night, and you can make me feel right. Oh, boom, boom, boom. I gotta be good. I'm on my main account, my big one. If it gets dicey, I'll leave, and you guys will have to come to YouTube. Happy Monday. How is everybody doing? I hate Monday. Monday sucks. I wish we could just skip to Wednesday. Hump day. Anybody for it? I don't know. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's froggy out here. It has been froggy for the last couple mornings. You're finally yellow, you made it. Thank you to all my members on YouTube. You guys are badass bitchers. Bitchers. I didn't mean that. Bitches. Hi Lola. I saw the Steelers. The Steelers are killing it. Congrats to all the Pittsburgh people. Sue, how do you turn yellow? I think yellow means you've been here so many months. No. Don't wish time away. Okay. No, I was told not to wish time away. I'm sorry, Marianne. Yay for the yellow. Is that yellow means you're however many months, 6 months in. 6 months in. You badass bitches. Long 2 weeks. You're telling me, Jade. Hi, Rick. How are you? Happy Monday. I hate Monday. You know, every Monday I wake up and I think to myself, girl, stop thinking so negative, right? Start being more positive. Yes, let's tackle the Monday, right? We have no other choice, so we have to. I'm staying in shape for myself, not for my husband. Let's get it straight. Life is short, Mondays suck, be grateful for each day. But really, should I really be grateful for each day? I feel like I'm chasing my tail. I feel like I'm in the same bullshit of a cycle, just waiting it out until I die. Good morning to everybody. Did I sleep? No. I never really, hi Ellen, thank you. I never really sleep, you guys. It's just the multitudes of how long, right? Or how long the cycles are going to be. It is Groundhog's Day. I feel like that. I feel like, what do I have to look forward to? You know? Nothing. Just more wrinkles, more sagging, more diarrhea, more blood. Who knows what my body decides to do? You know what I mean? Listen, game changing. Nobody can game change my life. I'm not in the mood. I'm getting this shit done. I'm trying. You thought I was taking a break from YouTube? Well, Darren, you didn't watch my video all the way, did you? Nope. So, y'all, you gotta finish the videos. You know? You gotta finish. You gotta be done with them. You gotta watch them. Because there could be twists and turns at every valley. Right? There could be twists and turns. There could be surprises. There could be new things. There could be exciting, I don't know. I don't know. Today is a subscriber. No, today's not a subscriber. Marty, I was gonna go to the casino yesterday, but I came home to help Dan with a couple things. And then I thought to myself, oh, I'll just go after. I didn't. I was dead. I just was mad. I was tired. I was mad at myself for not being able to get up and go to the casino for a couple hours. Dan was even worried, right? Dan was even worried. Dan was like, I'll even take you and drop you off and you can Uber home. And I said no, and he went, huh? Huh? Hi, Jigger. I'm good. I put my environmental shenanigans at rest. I just had a bad weekend. I didn't get to the icebergs yet, but coming. Yeah. I got up 3 times with Ed. 3 times. One of the times I had to pick him up. I had to pick him up. I literally had to pick him up. I did. Because he was feisty. He wasn't listening. I was tired. And I was tired of getting up. So I picked him up by the shoulders. I moved him. I picked him up. I turned him around. And I placed him in his room. Yep, that's what I did. So shoot me, kill me, I don't know. Anyhow, every time he was feisty, right? He was feisty all last night. Every time he got up, well, I want you to do that. I don't want that light on. I don't care. You do it. You know, turn it off. I said so. I said, nope, not gonna turn it off. It needs to be on. Well, I don't want it on. I said, well, guess what? It's my house. I don't care. Turn it off. Woo! I said, bruh, you be messing with the wrong bitch. Get in the room. No. Danielle, I mean it. I said, Ed, I mean it. Get to bed. No. I want those lights off now. And I about had it. So I picked him up by the shoulders and he said, Danielle, don't do that. And I said, well, Ed, you gotta listen. Plop, go to bed. But I want you to do that now. Open that door. I'll do it then. Click. Danielle. He did. He went to bed. Until the next time he got up. Be nice to Ed. Your videos are painful. I am nice to Ed. I'm nice to Ed because he lives in my house for the last 4 years. I feed him. I clean him. I shave him. I clip his nails. I put moisturizer on him. I put cologne on him. And if I wasn't nice to him, I wouldn't do those things and take care of him. So be nice to me and understand that caregivers are tough, right? And caregivers go through it. Stop thinking that people aren't nice because you're not being very nice. So practice what you preach. That was realistic, right? I'm telling you the God's honest truth because I need to talk to him with some respect. You need to back down is what you need to do. I'm telling you that right now because if you enjoy this page, this is not how you stay on this page. You come and walk a day in my shoes and think you know better, know my family dynamic, know how Ed and I communicate, and you think I'm being disrespectful, you're being disrespectful for not trying to understand our dynamics, right? Just because you have a different personality than I do doesn't mean you know better than me, right? I know how to deal with Ed. I'm the professional of Ed. If you don't like the way I'm doing something, don't watch me. But I will not allow you to come on here and degrade me and belittle me because you don't think I'm doing a good job. Anyhow, so how is my body feeling? Actually, it's better than it was yesterday. So thank God. I know I want to go. I understand what you go through. And I share, right? I share with the people who are doing it because they need to understand that me too. I'm not perfect. I don't have patience all day long. It's impossible to be patient. You don't like that? Well, you're not living in reality. Patience is not available to all day long. And if you consider yourself patient all day long, I think you're full of shit. Honestly, right? Patience, nobody has all day long. You lose it, you feel it, you get sad, you get mad, you get frustrated. I'm frustrated. Stop acting like you're some perfect individual because there's no such thing. And stop projecting your bullshit onto me. I'm tired of it. Why do people want to tell me that things are going to get worse? Don't you think I know it's going to get worse? Don't you think it already has gotten worse? You know, you don't need to tell somebody who's in the throes of decline that they're going to get worse. We are in phases that we don't necessarily talk about, right? Because for his dignity, but those of you who are doing it can imagine what we're doing. And especially with patience with a caregiver. And have you seen Dan? Have you seen Dan? And there's days I don't have patience. I yelled at Dan all day yesterday because I said, I'm done. I'm not doing it. You want to give his shower day? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm tired. I'm irritated. And I'm overwhelmed. It's your turn to step up to the plate. And he did it, right? He did it. And I stayed in bed majority of the day because I was dead because I was the one up with him all night long. You know, there are moments, what you guys have to understand, there are moments Dan gets up more than me, right? Because he just is in a cycle of insomnia. So he gets up. But his getting up is not quiet, right? He still wakes everybody up because he's loud. Now, lately, he's been falling asleep. So I've been carrying the brunt of it. And that's just what happens sometimes. I'm carrying the brunt of the nighttime things. Too much for you guys, put him in a nice home. That's a really stupid comment, right? My kids were too much for me too. Should I have put him up for adoption? Come on. My husband's all hard sometimes and he bugs me. Should I divorce him? I mean, the logic doesn't work there. You choose to take in a family member, you choose to do that. When the going gets rough, so we're just supposed to drop them off at the nearby shelter? Come on, people, be better. Work full-time as a paralegal and sometimes it's hard, especially when you're working full-time. Teresa, he doesn't work that way. You know, it's whatever you see is what you get, right? You're building an addition to our home for my mom right now. That's very sweet. We were gonna do that too. But then, long story, we got sued because my husband's ex-business partner and all the money went to go pay for his lawsuit. We had to pay our bill and his bill. So there you have it. Never ran a marathon, I can never do it. I'm trying to, Van, I'm trying. Is Ed quite a fit person? Yes. Ed walked forever. Ed walked forever. Ed was a walker. It was an ugly Sam I am. It was ugly. Something that could have totally been preventable and we would have had so much more. We would have been pretty well off right now if that didn't happen. But when you got to cover expenses and all the fees and bullshit of somebody who lied to you, then, well, that's what happens. You're right, I do run a marathon every day. Was he feisty every time he got up? Yes. Last night, he was feisty all the time. Who has had 3 strokes and 3 heart attacks? Ugh. Ugh is right. Hang tough. I always say that to people. Hang tough. You know, hang tough. That's my thing. For fellow caregivers, to any kind, whether it's your child, your loved one, a friend, a partner, whoever it is, hang tough. That's my saying. Because it's hard. It's hard. Gonna need, are you not man bashing today? It's gonna need more elder keepers soon. There's so many ways I can do this right now, but I gotta mind my P's and Q's. Daniel, I never man bash. I husband bash. Yeah, there's a difference. He happens to be a man, but he's my man. So, comb your hair. Why? I didn't know I had to comb my hair to run. My husband is my caregiver and I carry lots of guilt. Carry till death do us part, my friend. You know, there's no magic 8-ball where that tells us what life is gonna give us. I'm sure I would have some guilt too, but you know what? No, because before you needed help, I bet you were a badass bitch, right? I bet you were a badass bitch taking care of everybody and letting yourself go. So let's not forget what you gave. So you do for Ed and Dan and your kids. Thank you, Crazy Life. Pays, were you wrong in the lawsuit? Well, you're wrong because you were a partnership so long. So yes, because we were tied to him on a business title. We had to, or they were going to come after us. We're the only ones who had things. He didn't. So if you know anything about business, everything, you have to cover it or they're going to take our houses. So yeah, you're fucked when you go into business with somebody and they screw you up. Comb your hair all the time. Okay, sure. Only because you said so. Why would I comb my hair all the time? Who cares? I'm not going anywhere. I'm normalizing how beautiful women are without the bullshit. That's what I'm trying to do. Take care and maybe learn how to be polite and not be ugly to women as a man. Daniel, that was male bashing because he attacked me and told me to take care of myself. So anyhow, does your son help out with that? My son's in school, and when I need it, he does help out, right? It's not his obligation. Everybody wants to pass the buck off, right, to somebody else. You know, we took this job on. If I pass the buck off to anybody, it's going to be my husband, because ultimately, you know, it's his father, right? My hair's fine. I mean, that's the thing. That's what's wrong with society. Somebody comes on and starts bashing me for my looks. Laying it pretty thick lately. Well, Daniel, I speak truths, right? I speak my experiences. I speak my opinions on associations with my husband, my friends' husbands, and everything like that. And if you listen to me, Daniel, you'll hear me say there are a very small percentage of men that may be better than the average, right? But I haven't come across many who are in that small percentage. Maybe the way they were raised, maybe they were, but it is a man's world. So I don't know how you want me to change my opinion about women and our fight for equality when the man overpowers us every time. I mean, to me, that's just you being defensive. But if you were open-minded enough, I think you could see why I talk about that. Again, it's a man's world. I don't know why we have to be defensive about that. Women are still in the hole they have always been in, fighting to get out, and then the man wants to put us back in. So call it bashing, call it reality. It is what it is, Daniel. That's the truth. I'm one of those men. I respect all women, my wife of the world. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for being the small percentage of men who appreciate their wives. I've been running for a long time, so since I was 14. So I'm hoping my lungs are strong enough and won't betray me. Do I ever stop? With what? Sometimes. Sometimes, like yesterday, my body says, you're done. You can't do anything. Lay down, be quiet, don't talk to anybody, and just try to recuperate, right? And if most men, you know, are very like Nick, you know, he was very like, I get it, you know, I expect it. I see that is the norm of men. He's not being defensive. He sees it. You got to be open-minded to those things because, Daniel, it's very true, whether you want to believe it or not. I see it different, that's all. We can't live without each other. We need one another to get through this life. I don't really need, right? I mean, for you to say that I need a man is quite sexist. Quite sexist. I don't need anything. I'm done procreating. I could support myself and live happily ever after. So no, I don't need. I need a G-Wagon, but I don't need no man. So let's get that straight. What a day. You guys are lucky. Very lucky. And I hate when men tell me I need them. My husband even knows I don't need him. You know? Okay. He's done. I got rid of him. His passive aggressiveness is starting to bug me. I think Ed is the luckiest of all, honestly. I got rid of him, dog lover, don't worry. He was becoming a bit too much. I wish true love is wanting him, not needing him. Yeah, and you know, honestly, Mike, I hate when men tell women that. You know, that's the society we live in. You know, that we are self-reliant on men. We can't make it on our own. Bullshit. Bullshit. Who says we can't make it on our own? There's many women who do, right? Their husbands up and leave them, or they leave finally after abuse or neglect or anything. We do it, right? That's why everything should be our choice. Because in many times we get stuck with situations that of course we don't want to be stuck with alone, but we are. Why? Because men get a free pass. Men get a free pass, and that's the reality we live in. Thank you to the respectful men who cherish their wives, who love them, and who enjoy every minute with them. And fuck you to the ones that think we need them. That's the problem. Are you sure it wasn't? No, Dan just got home. Who built your house you're living in? Oh, okay. Are you sure? How do you know there weren't any females on the job? Because last time I looked, there are women who also can hammer a nail in. And if they can't, it's only because the man says it's not acceptable for them. Even when they were famous. You mean you, Mike? Yeah, I got tired of supporting my ex and kicked him out. We got some men lovers on this side. Men built the world. So anyhow, so how was everybody's week? So everybody, I got the only thing I can look forward to, and Dan will come in and belittle you. What is wrong with you guys today? Can I ask? What is wrong with you guys today? All the haters out there. Isn't there something better you can do with your lives than come on here and badger people who are hard workers and want to have fun with their friends? Huh? What is wrong with you guys? It's pretty sad. Hi, Hockey Mom. Anyhow, it's really ugly over here on this side. We got a lot of men, passive aggressive, and being quite ugly. And I just don't like it. Dan belittles me, I belittle Dan. Isn't that part of marriage and love and marriage? I think so. Doesn't take away from the fact that we do love each other. It's just what we do. But don't attack my husband. I don't support that. So if you're gonna be ugly about my husband, I will block you. Only I can be ugly about my husband. My mom had to hide the fact she made more money than my stepdad because it does. It infuriates him. And I have a story too, but I can't really share it. But same thing happened. It bugs some men that their wives can make more. Yes, Mike, I agree with you. It's the insecurity of the men that cause that, 100%. Their wives have left them, or they're just not happy with themselves. I can only go with what you say about done. Well, if I told you to jump off a bridge, would you? When I talk about my husband, just so you know, I've said this before. It's not for you to jump on the gravy train and jump into my same, thing. It's my husband. I have to vent because those things frustrate me, plain and simple, right? it frustrates me, and it's okay because every relationship has frustrations, right? He is not the perfect man, nor am I the perfect woman. But just don't come after my husband. Those things are meant to normalize this stupid shit that happen in our marriage that we women, right, get so infuriated with, right? Because, you know, it's what seems so simple to us is so foreign to most, right? So we get frustrated with our husbands. I'm here, yeah, right, Shell? I can talk shit about my husband, but there's some of you that are really sweet, right? And I understand you support me, and I understand that's how you show love, but it hurts me, right? It hurts me when you attack my husband, because that's not what my stuff is supposed to do, right? That's not what it's supposed to do. It's not supposed to divide you away from the good things that he does. It's the annoying shit that he does, right? It just happens to be my humor and the way I cope, the way I vent, and the way I make fun. But he's on board with it, right? Does he catch shit? Yes. And you should give him shit. But you don't have to be nasty about it, like people are nasty towards me. Just be like, you know, a lot of people say, oh my God, Dan, I can't help but laughing, right? Well, it's supposed to make you laugh. It's supposed to be relatable. It's not supposed to divide. He's a great guy, right? Very flawed, but a great guy. And that's why I'm still here. I love him, and I don't know why I have to sit and defend him. Those things, right? We talked about this before. We all like things, right? We're all set in our ways. Some of us are set in our ways. Some men are the cleaner. Some women have OCD. Whatever the case may be. Dan doesn't care about the aesthetics of things. Never has. If you look at the way he dresses, he can drop shit, walk around. He just has never give two shits. Because Ed was that way. I do. I take pride in my house. I take pride in the way it looks. I take pride in knowing that I can provide a wonderful place for people to come to, feel comfortable, smells good, right? He just doesn't think. He's ADHD, right? So he doesn't think about those things. I point him out and all he says is, just tell me. And in my mind, I'm like, why? For 30 years, I've been telling you the same thing, right? But in his mind, he just doesn't see things the same way I see them. We don't have the same thought process. We don't share the same brain, right? So all the self-help books that I have read said, it's not a level of importance to him. But if it's that important to you, right, do it. Do it. You do it, you bitch about it, you get over it, and move on, right? Because it's important to me. You know, if he knocks down a picture frame, walks away, I go and put it up. Why? Because it bothers me. Step up if it bothers you and do something. Now, if I didn't give two shits, those messes, I would leave. I would leave for them to clean it up. But I can't do that. I've never been that person. So then it becomes my problem, right? It's my problem because I can't wait for them to clean it up. I'll just do it because that's what I'm doing anyway, right? That's it. Yes, Phyllis, it is. In every self-help book you read regarding relationships, right? Yeah, I know, Della, you know, says that. You can't expect the person that you live with to expect or want the same things, right? It's that way. So, and Dale, at least you can admit it, you know? You just don't think about it. It's not important to you. But for us, because if we value our house, respect it, we feel it's important to do our job. So to me, I may bitch about it while doing it, but I'm still gonna do it. I'm not gonna change my ways. People get so mad at Dan, you know? It's crazy. They get so pissed off, so vile, and the things they say. Come on, people. You think he does that on purpose? No. I expect him to think about it, but he doesn't. I have tried to change that for 27 years. He just doesn't see it. Eventually he would, because his brain is hopping to the next thing. You know, he's not thinking, oh, I should clean up. I clean up as I go, because that's me, you know? And Dan is the same way, Kara. He says, leave it, I'll do it. But I want it done now. Well, I'm not doing it now, you know? Could he make more effort? Probably. Absolutely, he could. But to him, that's not important. So he says, well, leave it if you want. If not, clean it up. Which technically is the right way. It's the right thing. Thank you for all the gifts. You guys are lighting up all sorts of things. So yes, I do it. I don't tolerate the bashing. I don't like it. Some of you have been here for a while and you still bash, and I'm on the verge of just blocking you. Even though I know it's for love for me, it's still my husband. It still hurts me because I want to continue to do the same content, but I feel like I just can't because too many people are bitching and too many people are being so vile and say the worst things. And I just can't talk. I can't keep giving the silent approval. And some of you I have let it go on for a lot longer than I should have. So please, on my, it bothers me. It bothers me. Sometimes I laugh, because I'm like, go get him, but he gets really upset. He does have one of the biggest hearts. And, sometimes it's hard, right? Because I get very, right? I just don't stop moving all day long. And I get very frustrated. And some of those ways that I release those frustrations is making videos. Because really, at the end of the day, it's not the end all, That's not what marriages break up over. Marriages break up over infidelity, untrust, not trusting, lack of being loyal, and abuse, physical, mental, and Dan is none of those things. So I'm making fun of the bullshit of our marriage. That's it. Now, Dan is not gonna, unfortunately, he's different, right, than I am. I take it personal because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to get people on my side. Now, I know some of you think it, and that's fine, and I appreciate those of you who keep it to themselves because, at the end of the day, you have respect for me, and you show support in other ways. And that's, to me, I know, right? I know. Russell, yes, we should be live tonight. Dan has a court appointment at 1:30, but he should be back in time for a live. So anyhow, that's just my stuff. You just enjoy it. Hi, Jesse. Just enjoy it. He stopped eating 3 weeks ago. Oh no, Italian girl, I'm so sorry. I know, I understand. That's what I said. I know people are defending me and it's their mom nature to do so, but leave the vileness aside, right? I'm already thinking those things, right? I'm thinking the things you're thinking, right? Because I'm frustrated with my husband and we get taken down in the abyss sometimes of the frustrations and like how after so many years, do we not understand? So I don't need it because it fuels my fire more, to be honest. And I just don't like it. It's not what I want. That's not what I want. So thank you for understanding. And if you can't keep it to yourself, If you wind up blocked one day, it's because I can't tolerate it anymore. Janet, that's okay. There's always a replay. Yeah, and you know, Dan, you should. You know, the purpose of what I show is to make you guys laugh. Like, oh, Dan, here we go again. Bruh, pay attention to your wife, you know, but I just don't understand why people go so crazy, you know? It doesn't help me. It just, when I'm already in that, God, I want to kill him, you know? And I see some of your comments, I'm like, that's right. And then I'm like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I got to go to the bathroom. And I do it because I know some of you are dealing with the same shit, right? With kids, with husbands. Dan is not romantic. Joanne, he'd like to think he is, but no, he is not. That I've given up on a long time ago. Shit. So, I'll tell you about that if I can get in.
La-di-da, I think I'll take a run here. Oh, hello. I believe my husband thinks he's romantic, but he never asked me. Something about venting? Uh-oh, what am I missing here? Uh-oh, uh-oh. Am I okay here? I haven't heard anything that's going on in the show today. You would not be my first live tonight. I believe so. I believe so. I have to shoot an ad tonight, but I hope to do that either before or after. Hi, everybody. I'm okay. Good. Good. He seemed to be romantic. The first song when y'all met, but I'm pretty romantic. You know, but you got to be in a romantic mood, right? I mean, you got to romance. Dan, explain how you romance your wife. I mean, many different ways. Like, you know, yesterday, small thing, you know, she wanted to go to the casino. You know, I hate that. And and I know she wanted to go, and so she got back, and I said, all right, I'm gonna go pick up some lunch. I'll come back, and then you can go. When I got back, she was just tired on the bed, and she's like, I don't want to go. And I'll be happy to drive you, and you can Uber back. That's romantic, you know. When you I'll stay with my dad. You go to the casino. That's just an example from yesterday. Always offer to bring her food or just bring it when I come home. What else? I'm always, you know, I'm not like romantic like when I was young and, I'd run around and open up the door and, write poems. And I used to write her stuff all the time. It is romantic, Miranda. It's romantic for 27 years of marriage. It's sometimes just to get through the day, it's hard sometimes, and then to put on the extra energy to be romantic. Random flowers are good. I'm bad on that. Occasionally, once every 2 years, I'll do that, but not enough for sure. Hey, everybody, the real celeb M. Joanne, 40 years of marriage. Congratulations. That is awesome. That's an achievement. My grandparents, I remember going to their 50th wedding anniversary, my dad's parents, with my cousins. I still remember it. It was a big thing, running around with my cousins. Are we arguing? We're not really arguing. We're just getting through life. No, I mean, we've been in worse places in this marriage, for sure. It's hard right now, but we're getting through. We're not fighting. We're not. I mean, I don't think I'm. I've definitely felt worse about my marriage in the last 27 years. There were periods, but now that what she's doing for my dad, what the hell? What can I really do, right? Can I ignore that? No. What she's doing is amazing. That goes a long way. Uh-oh. She's back. How are you doing?
Issues. I don't know what's going on with your body.
She's got issues. All right.
Which is normal, but.
Which is normal. But I'm going to talk about UFOs.
Who's calling me?
Hi, Mom.
Oh.
How are you doing? Yeah, more stories about UFOs. I'm gonna. You gotta watch the Mitt Romney.
No, I'm never going. CNN. Dan, no.
You can Google it.
He's not romantic. What does he do that's romantic, you guys? Nothing. And that's the thing, is he says one thing, but you guys, you would see the romance, You would see the romance. I would record that, right? Come on. Just like people. Well, doesn't the family help? You would see the family helping. No. He admitted nothing for a long time. Yeah. He brings you food and lets you do whatever. Oh, geez. Yeah. Romance is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah. But you're also single. I gave up on romance a long time ago, you guys. So I, you do things that you want to give. You just tell him exactly what you want. He knows, Audrey. Come on. Took you to a casino, he said. That was romantic. Romantic would be, honey, I'm taking you to the casino. I'll pick you up. You go for as long as you want, right? He doesn't open up my car door. He doesn't do any of that stuff. So remember, it's a two-way street. Karen, I just said I used to be romantic, but after a while, when he has a one-track mind, it's hard to maintain. All he wants is sexual romance. I can't do it. You give up on it after a while, right? I would surprise him with balloons in the car on his birthday, or just because, or a love note on his seat, And after a while of not getting those things back, guess what? You stop, because it's one-sided. Yes, it is. And so when people say, that's what I hate, when people kind of come in and be like, well, it's a two-way street, putting it back on me. And you guys, come on. You don't think I have tried everything? And I am the way I am because of him. Yeah, I get it, Sackless Grandma. That's the thing. I always wonder, if something were to happen, right, to me and Dan, I am so used to it being one way, I think I would have a hard time accepting it from somebody else. You know what I mean? Because of that. So is Dan just a bad husband? Did I say that? You're the only person that has said that. You guys don't listen, some of you, small select few of you. It's our way. It's just our way. It's his way. I've had to acclimate to his way because my feelings were getting hurt because there was no reciprocity. I need my emotions met, right? I did it for a long time and I just stopped, because when one doesn't think that way and one does, you have to find a solution that works, right? You have to just find something, and we've just never found it. I've just accepted who he is. Now, doesn't mean I'm always happy about it. Doesn't mean I don't bitch about it, but it's who we are, right? It's who we are. But I think I would also, it would be too much for me if there was ever a man that was the polar opposite of Dan. you know? I need to do better. Of course, I always need to do better. But so does he. So does he. Yeah, you know, anyhow, there's no easy thing. I think men either have it or they don't, right? Men have it or they don't. A lot of the men who have it, number one, they either saw it, right? They either saw it growing up and it was ingrained in them. They had somebody teach them that that's important, or their parents were the complete opposite and they break out of that mold, right? They break out of that mold. Dan, and what did we talk about before? You have to see your faults in order to change them and put the effort in. You get what you put in, right? You get what you put in. I married a man that made me feel good, made me feel secure. Yes, Suzanne. Yes. Yes. Thruppling is a new thing. I just watched the Connors, where Jackie was part of her thruple. I go to the casino to relieve all my worries and responsibilities. No, that means you fell in love with him when he didn't have it, and now you're mad that he doesn't have it. Wrong. God, you guys think you know everything. Steve, absolutely wrong. He had it when I fell in love with him. He had it. He would write me poems. He would leave me notes on the door, even at the beginning of our marriage, when I would go drop the kids off, right? He would leave me roses when I was younger, leave them in my room for me to show up. He had it then. Yeah. Stop thinking you know. Stop thinking you want to attack me, right? Without really knowing the facts, Steve. That's what's funny, is you guys think you have some power over me, which you are completely wrong. Been 48 years roommates now. You know, I feel as sometimes we are roommates. I do, because we lose, you know. You spend so many years taking care, right, of the family. And I was the main parent in this family. And Dan would tell you, he admits to you, that I did everything with the kids. So he took a step back, right? He took a step back and he said, I'll wait for you when you are done, when the kids are done needing you. Well, whose fault was that? Instead of saying, I'll wait for you, he should have been participating in it. But he couldn't do it. He didn't know how. Why, do you ask? Why do you think he didn't know how? Look at his role model. Come on, people. It doesn't take a psychologist with a degree to figure that out. It can just be a lonely old child development major who studies the brain and who lives that life. My husband was the sweetest pre-marriage, in fact. Yeah, he loved it. Dan used to open my doors, right? Oh my gosh, you know how many times Dan used to say, I said, can you watch the kids? No. What do you mean no? You know, can Dan have his input? He's had his input many times. He's said it to people. People will back me up. So stop being sexist. User, stop being sexist. Hi, Gringa. So he's supposed to be my best friend though. To a certain degree, you know, to a certain degree. And they loved each other's company. Yes. I mean, that's the thing, is that, you know, are your husbands, do I tell him everything? No. And you know why? Because I know what he's going to get upset about, and I know what he's going to get pissed off about. You know, some things they don't need to know. He also, we have an interesting relationship. We have kind of a mutual understanding, even though sometimes I get mad, right? He just said he'd offer to drive you to, yeah, right. He thought that was, oh gosh, Carrie. Yeah, I'll keep them but not watch them. I'm like, you are not a babysitter. You are their father. you either have it or you don't, or you work hard to change it. But Dan is also takes on the world of his family, right? Dan takes on the world of his family. So he wants to fix everybody but himself. And typically that happens with individuals. They spend more time on other people than they do themselves because guess what? It's easier. So he lets me handle our family because he doesn't know how. I do. So he's always allowed me to parent. And maybe that was part of you wanted to see now. No, God, that's so ugly. That's so ugly. You can't help, Varys, how people change as they get older and go through life. You can't do that. So there's no guarantees. You know, God, that's so ugly. Did any of us know how to be a parent? No. Nope. Nobody knows how to be a parent. We don't even think we can afford it, and it just works out, and we do. Some people don't know, right? No. So when I go to Dan, you know, with stress, no, I oftentimes don't go to him because he can't handle it. He can't handle my family stress, which is his, because he takes on too much of his family stress. I mean, it's just the way it is. I can't change it. So is he my best friend? Not really. You know, he's not. I can't go to him for everything. He's just not available all the time for me and our shit because I've done such a badass job doing our shit that he can't handle, but has the patience for his own family. Hi, Arnold. So, yes, and I get all the stress to myself and our family, right? So, I don't know. It's just the way our family is. I can't change it. It just is what it is. Does it make him flawed? Yep. Does it make me flawed? Yep, because I've been trying so hard to change it, and I can't change something that doesn't want to be changed. Get away from the house doesn't do anything. It just gives us more sex, Linda. It doesn't repair or doesn't fix everything, right? It just gives us sex. That's it. It just gives us more sex and more time. But we're together all the time, you know? But what is the alternative? A nursing home? No way. Oh, yeah. It is too much caregiving. But could you honestly drop them off and say goodbye? No. Running helps. You know, making fun of my situation helps. The platform helps because I can have fun with my stress. So my husband can't get it up anymore. God, how does that work? Can we inject him with something to make me feel better? Connie, what most women think. Unfortunately, mine still gets it up way too much. Maybe getting a part-time caregiver. It's not the time, you guys. It's not the time. It's just not the time for a caregiver. You guys, you see how close my room is. When I can get I've been waiting for a long time, Connie. I've been waiting for a long time. Right, at this point, I'd rather take care of myself. I really don't even have any desire for that, you guys. So my body is going through so much. I was talking to Josh yesterday and it was so funny. I'm cracking up too. It's funny. All women secretly wish that, right? Like, okay, because we stop at a certain time, right? For a while, because our bodies are changing. And it's like, then you do have a little bit of guilt because you're not being the good wife or you're not looking to pleasure yourself because you just don't give two shits anymore because you're just so miserable within your own self. And it's like, God, when is that going to stop working? Because then you don't feel so bad. I'm not doing it to Dan, dog lover. Deander said something yesterday, and he said, I can't imagine when it's down to Dad's turn. And I said, I'm not doing it. I know till death do us part and shit, but there's no way I can do this with Dan. This is hell, you guys. I can't spend my life caregiving. He's going in a home. Dan's going in a home. There's just no way. I tell him, I said, you have spoiled it for me. You have killed me of any desire of taking care of you if you get this way. Just God's honest truth. Sorry. Dan's going to be an ass. Dan is going to be horrible to take care of. You know, Ed was lucky enough that he mellowed a bit. He feels the same you do. He has diabetes. I'm definitely up for more than him. Also, I'm younger. Yeah. And also, so is it over for me? Sometimes partners forget. Yes, and I do too, Nancy. You know, I mean, that's the thing is I forget how to connect in those ways too because I am so tired, right? I just think in my head, Dan will understand. Dan gets it, right? Type of a thing. And he does in a way, but he's not happy about it. But it just is what it is. I am overwhelmed, right? I am tired at the end of the night. I just looked at my husband today, and right before I came in, I said, you want a quickie, you know? And I know I haven't been doing my job. Just, do you want it? He's like, no, I'm good. You know, AKA, I'm fine. I took care of myself. And he's like, I just never know, you know? I never know when your body is gonna not be, you know, in that state of mind. And so I'm like, okay, look, if you need it, you know, I'm willing to do it, but we have to do it in the morning time. We have to do it in the morning time because by the end of the day, I'm done. But all I got right now is just a body. I don't have anything else that connects with it. I don't need to be pleasured. If I do, I'll let you know. But morning is the best time for me because sometimes as the day progresses, my body changes, right? I bet you anything, you guys get busy more. We used to, dog lover. We have taken a nosedive on our relationship, honestly. In the last 6 months, we've taken a nosedive, complete nosedive. And I think that a lot of it has to do with me. And my just trying to figure my body out, what's aggravating it, what's, you know, or, you know, the spotting, the bleeding, when you're in perimenopause, your body does whatever the fuck it wants to do. You have no control over what's happening internally. So a lot of that has changed in the last 6 months. A lot of it has changed. Ed has changed me in the last year. Ed has changed me in the last year. In the last year, we've had him full time. That took a toll on me. Just being honest, it took a toll on me. So no, it's been a spell. It's been a spell. I just can't. I wish men understood what happens to us, you know, and I wish they I mean, I guess he does in a way because he stopped asking, right? And it makes me feel guilty, but I just don't have anything at the end of the day. I don't have anything to give. Ed and Dan and everything else in my life has gotten so overwhelming for me with it all and dealing with my own shit. My fibromyalgia, my neck pain is gruesome some days, and it doesn't make you your best self, right? It doesn't make you your best self. And I could cry because, you know, I know it's not fair to him, but it's not fair to me either. And I shouldn't have guilt feeling the way I do because it is what it is. They're my normal right now. And he has stopped asking, which makes me feel bad because, you know, he's never not. He's always bugged me for it, which in turn bugs me even more. But then when he stops doing it, right, it's like, okay, is this his way of understanding or is it just he's tired? I don't think he's tired, but it's just hard, you guys. I'm falling apart at the seams. And I think, sleep deprivation is a huge thing. And then my mom through and I literally, all I have is cuddling. I have touching, intertwining fingers at night, or, that I need. It makes me feel comforted. But this is a really trying time in my life. It's a really trying time in my life. I'm tired. I'm physically drained. And by the end of the day, I don't have anything else to give. There you have it. Mental load kills all desire. It does. Along with your hormones going all over the board, and your body just does what it wants, and you don't know when it's going to do it, but it's going to do it, and then you're like, what the fuck is happening to me? Flatulence. That's been something and I'm trying to figure out what's causing it, and then you have to start eliminating things and, trying to figure it all out. It's horrible. It's horrible. And I typically, I suffer in silence. I mean, I've been talking about it more with you since, my doctor was like, you have, pain. You live with chronic pain. We got a new bed last year. It locks my back up, so I haven't been sleeping. You feel guilty. Dan told me, he's like, you can go sleep upstairs, but I feel guilty. As who I am, I feel guilty. Because I know he needs sleep too. Again, it's putting him first over me, right? I know he needs sleep. Yeah, Kara, I started some again, but I haven't had any for the last couple days, and that's not it. I know, right? A shot or pill, something to cut down on red meat for flatulence. I don't eat a lot of meat. Does Ed mess with Dan about being his dad, or does Ed mess with Dan about being his dad? No, he doesn't. He just doesn't know to leave him alone. To leave him alone 30 years ago. I'm just dying. Cheryl, you never told me about this perimenopausal bullshit. It's killing me, and I'm tired. Some women, I think, are just stronger than me, or they're just strong. They appear to be stronger and just don't talk about the pain and the bullshit. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But I'm just tired. I'm overworked. I'm overwhelmed. So I don't know. We suffer in silence. Yes. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to come up with something. Now, because I can't continue on this path. Honestly, I can't. I'm gonna end up going Looney Tunes. I feel it, right? I feel some of my weakest moments. I feel my tiredest moments, right? I feel like I could flip. I could flip. I am bleeding like constantly. It's weird. Like I'll spot a full day and then a little bit. It's a whole new ball game. I mean, my mom was not alive to say, bitch, you better buckle up, buttercup. And so, anyhow, my guy brought home the house across the street. It's beautiful. My guy bought the house across the street. What do you mean? You're moving? So anyway, I'm here. You guys, if you are doing this journey, I'm doing it with you, and I am dying. I am dying. And yeah, every woman's different. Some women don't have the problems. I have some friends who just all of a sudden their periods stopped and they were like, oh, I guess this is menopause, They had nothing. Nothing. She never taught. I know, and it's so I hope you feel better once you get through the peri portion. I hope so too. You should never had a family. Men sacrifice and women sacrifice. You should never had a family. Wow, that's ugly. Great when you never have a period. Yeah. I'm on hormones. My hair's been falling out since I was on hormones for 10 plus years. My hair is super thin. So yeah, yay. I'm just, maybe I shouldn't have had a family. I mean, this is Lynn's brother. I'm letting you know that her surgery went well. Woohoo! Lynn's good. My Linsky. I'm age 45. My period stopped. I'm now 16. I've never had any menopausal system. I know. I'm jealous. Yeah, and that's the thing is that um, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. And for somebody to come on here and have the audacity to tell me I should have never had a family, that's ugly. I'm sure my kids are happy. My husband's happy, ultimately, because this is our normal. It does get better. I hope so. Hi, Danielle. Are you from mixed descent? Yes. My dad, my dad's family laid their seeds throughout the Middle East. Oh, so I love my kids. My kids are pretty badass, and God, I don't know why that comment really pissed me off. That really triggered me, but it happens. Anyhow, I was doing this last time I say it. Benadryl helps me immensely during Benadryl. Seriously, say yes on it. It's unseen and how should I forget me? It was ugly to say because I have problems now, and I'm going through body changes and stuff. It makes me a bad person. God, that was ugly. Anywho, happy Monday. To top off my low feelings of life and womanhood, thank you. Everybody changes. Everybody's menopausal journey starts at different times. Mine started at 36. So, yeah. Anyhow, yeah. After my morning cup of black coffee, I now belch like Barney from The Simpsons. I belch, I fart. Sometimes my gas is just like something crawled up in my ass and died. I don't know, Connie. It's really hard for me because, I work so hard at keeping a brave face in even my times of weakness for myself and for you guys. And trying to normalize all the bullshit, right, that we go through, the bullshit that we get judged on, and trying to keep my head above the water every day. It's not easy. It's not easy. I've never felt so weak in my entire life, in different ways, right? I've never felt so weak in my entire life. More days than not. Now, I don't know if that's understandable to some of you. I know some of you will get that. But 10 years ago, I was weak in a different way. I was weak for standing up for myself. I was weak in letting people walk all over me. I was weak in not being strong enough to feel like I could defend myself or to defend others, right? I've mastered that. I'm not weak in that anymore. But I'm weak in the other things that I used to be so good at. I'm weak. I cry more, right? I'm more emotional. I feel more insecure emotionally on days because I'm tired. I'm weak because I can just fall apart at any minute. I'm weak because my body is betraying me. It's changing. It's getting older. My wrinkles, mostly my inside, right? Mostly my inside. I'm weak because life is changing. I'm in this next phase of life. And I'm not afraid of it, I guess. I don't think I'm afraid of it. I just think it's harder for some of us than it is for others. And I'm one of those people that this phase of life is super hard for me. Because I can't control it. Oh, good. Oh, good. I can't control it. And I can't control it. And I am stuck. I'm stuck with trying to cope and get through my day with my deficiencies. And guess what? I am brave enough to come out here and tell you that. I'm brave enough to come up and make myself vulnerable for those of you who need to hear that, because that's not something easy to admit. But I'm falling. I'm falling. I'm failing. Every day. Every day. My moods, it's not fun. It's not fun. Oh, Amy, is he okay? Or just, whatever. Oh, thanks, Storms. Yeah, it's cold. Can you see my breath? Start saying you feel good. I try. It doesn't work. Your COVID's gone. Yay. I do. I'm like, okay, girl, stop it. It's this internal fight. You're fine. Fuck you. Come on, you're gonna have a good day. Suck my cock. I try. And I can tell you, hello from Santa Cruz. I can tell you, I had to hide a lot of things, and I can tell you that it's one of those things that you're so, you learn a lot of things as you age, and you let go of a lot of things, and you learn to adjust and all this stuff. But this is a whole different treatment, and I can guarantee you, probably 80% of why I'm feeling this way is because I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. And being exhausted and running on exhaustion is enough to make anybody feel manic, honestly. Especially on top of every other stress you have in life. And on top of your body changing, and on top of your hormone surges and all that. It adds. It adds. It adds. Don't touch me. Yeah. It does. It makes you feel crazy. So I try to do the best I can, and I'm lucky enough that I'm lucky enough that I am comfortable to share it, because I know so many other women are experiencing it. So many men, maybe their loved ones are going through it and they have no idea, and it maybe makes a little bit more sense. Functioning is difficult, functioning and having to repeat yourself, and having, some days you just don't want to talk, right? Some days you just want to get through the day. You want to do your stuff. You don't want to talk. You don't want to associate. And, if you have somebody who's sane around you, you can say, just give me my minute, right? You can't do that with a dementia patient, right? You can't do that. Yesterday, I finally looked at him. Actually, the last couple days, I've just been like, just stop talking. I set a timer. For him. I put him on a timeout. I said, Dan's like, what are you doing? I said, I just need him to stop talking for 15 minutes. If he asks me about his wallet one more fucking time, I'm going to either run out of the house and not come back, or I'm going to strangle him, right? So I literally set the timer. He's like, why is the microwave going? I'm like, that's a timer. So every time he talks to me, I can point to it and I can tell him. So Dan looked at him, and Dan was like, Dad, are you on a timeout? and he goes, I guess. The repeating myself, oh good, Sarah. The repeating myself is horrible. Especially on the days that you just don't, I miss, that's the whole thing, like nobody understood like Thanksgiving. Am I happy that I went? Yeah, but I still could have sat home, because what people don't, and this is funny, what people don't get is that silence is golden, right? Silence is golden for me, because he doesn't ever shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And then he resets and he resets and he resets, and you're like, oh my God. And then you have to get louder because he can't hear you. In the video I posted today, I kept repeating, and he's still up to me and he still can't hear me. Sometimes that makes you go crazy in and of itself when you're tired and when you're just exhausted. It's a loop of hell. So I just said, don't talk. I'm done talking to you right now, because you don't understand. Your mind is playing tricks on you. I have a timer on. You may not talk until the timer goes off. And I felt so stupid doing it, right? If they say one more, like, it's just that one more, and sometimes I do that, or I'm like, nope, put my hand up. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And you see him look at me and I'm like, nope, because I know he's going to talk, nope. But it was really weird. Yeah, we're exhausted. And it's not that, people call me mean all the time. I'm not mean. I'm real, right? Yeah, it's like playing the quiet game with the kids. It's like, it's that. And Dan just laughed at me. I said, no. And really weird things, it's the buzzers burnt and he was still talking. I was like, Dan's like, well, his timeout's done. And I said, yeah, just don't talk to him. Don't make eye contact. Do I still do the cupping? No. Okay, so that's back on that, Sassy. So I went, yes. And sometimes, Connie, especially like the last couple days, because I've been so fucking tired, I just can't. I'm like, I just can't. And the sight sometimes the sight of him frustrates me already, right? Because I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it today. I don't have it in me, and I could just cry. So I do it and cry and stomp my feet and do the things that you do because life is just what it is. And this is my life. And so yesterday I go and I watch, Delaney's there, and I was talking to Josh and I was like, I'm going to kill your dad. I'm going to kill your dad. And he's like, what now? He's like, Danielle, Josh is my biggest advocate, and he's just like, you need to get out. Josh is always like, you need to get out more. You just need to get out. You're depressed. I'm like, yeah, no fucking shit. I'm probably depressed. He's like, you need to go spend time with your friends. I'm like, I don't really literally want to go spend time with my friends. I enjoy being by myself. He's like, Danielle, that's depression. I'm like, Josh, I don't think you understand. When you get to be 50 and you're taking care of somebody, you're going to realize that, you're going to understand where I'm coming from. I might be a little depressed, but I also value silence and nobody talking to me. I sometimes stay so quiet to keep my mom from needing me. I do. Or I'll go hide. If I see Ed rummaging around, I'm like, where can I go? Because, yeah. And when I know. And so, whoa. It's wanting to be alone. I don't think it's all depression. And that's what I was yelling at him for. And I said, Josh, it's not all depression. I'm sure I'm depressed. I'm sure I am. But you don't understand. When you do this day in, day out, you just don't want to be talked to. I don't want to go, and have to just be there with when I just want to be alone. That's why I think I love going to the casino by myself, because I can sit down. I can just, I don't drown out. I drown out everything, the noise. I love it. And it just takes me away where I don't have to respond to anybody, right? I love just to be alone. Just don't talk to me. I love the solitude. You see, Danielle, television sandwich, what the fuck? I never was alone. I never wanted to be alone, right? I would never wanted to be alone. I always was a social butterfly. And that's what Dan and Josh is like, Danielle, you never stayed home. I'm like, I know, but I'm older. I don't care. I love being alone. When you deal with your dad for 4 years like I have, and Dan and his energy level, it is exhausting. It wears me out. And the older I get, you still haven't? Cheryl, let's go. I keep inviting you. I need a sugar mama. Can you come and take me on Thursday? Let's go on Thursday. You can drive me and I'll get drunk. And I'm slowing down. I enjoy, and he said this to me. I said, I just love you guys are my outlet. And he goes, I know, but don't you need more than just us? No, because you guys make me happy. Yes. And Kimbo, all I did was, I traveled, right? I traveled. I traveled with my kids with sports. I was running around town from early in the morning to late at night. And, my life was that way. And now I enjoy not going anywhere. And sometimes I'm like I was going to go to the casino yesterday by myself just to get out. I came home and I was like, yeah, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm so tired. And Dan knows when I'm passing down, he's like, okay, something must be wrong if you're not going to the casino. He's like, I'll drop you off even. I'm like, no, I can't. I can't. No, I'm not doing it. And, and he left me alone because at that point, I think he knew I wasn't well. I wasn't well. And he gets concerned. When I turned down the casino, he's like, are you all right? No, I keep telling you I'm not all right. And Cheyenne, that's what I think. I think like people, like Josh, I'm like, Josh, when you get 10 years older and you're done of all this traveling around with your kids and all this bullshit, you're going to understand how I feel today. No, Ed hasn't gone to Mark's in a year. Ed hasn't gone to Mark's in a year. Over a year now. We've had him full time. And I honestly wasn't ready for full-time care. I wasn't ready to take him full time. I just didn't have a choice, it's just the way it was. Yeah, oh, bye Brady. Did he listen to me? For the time he did and not talk to me? Yeah. But I think it was a fluke. It was a fluke. Because why did you guys switch to, dementia's hard. Why did you guys switch to full-time? Because at the time, if you remember a year ago, Ed Tech took that really big fall. He was getting, he started to shift. And there's two of us. Mark was having issues and he needed to take care of himself. And now Ginger, is having issues. And Mark helps out with Joanne. And it was just time for him to set. It was harder for him to switch back and forth. And it was just harder. It's harder when one person does it. And we had two people and a gaggle of people coming in and out. It's hard work. It's hard work. Did he use baby gates? No, you got to remember a year ago was a lot different than it is today. Would you want your children to become your caregivers? No. 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 Absolutely not. But like my kids tell me, I won't have a choice in it. But no, because I know what I'm dealing with and I don't want my kids to do the same thing. Yeah, put me in a home. Yeah, find someplace and just make sure I'm not getting molested or something and put me in a home, absolutely. Because I care about my kids and I care about their mental health. And unless they are rich enough to where they can hire full-time care for me and not have to be solely reliant me on them, if I make it that far anyway, no. It's damaging mentally. I could cry. But I couldn't put him in a home. But this is not for the weak of heart, it's killing me. It really is. My husband had an affair with my best friend. I packed his bags and sent him back to his mommy. Shit. I would too. I'm a caregiver to my husband and father-in-law with dementia. Get help if you can, because you have a twofer. That's hard. There's no advice. You've got to just keep on keeping on. If this is a choice and you do not, under any circumstances, want to put them in a home, you are in for this journey and it's going to be fucking hard. And you're just going to have to know there's going to be days where you're going to cry. There's days you're going to be pissed. There's days you're going to yell. There's days you're going to not be happy in general. And, yeah. No, you can just put it right here. They're inside. My Walmart drops off. Ed is going to require more help as he ages. Yes, he is. And guess what? He has money for that. But until he, and that's the thing is until Ed is and can, will be bedridden, we won't get help for him because there's no need. We're here all the time. I think that's what's wrong with me now. I care for both of my grandmas before they pass. I kept all that pain to myself. Yep, you do. And it's hard. It's not easy, This can go from mentally taxing to physically, even without realizing. Oh no, I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I can't change. I can't change what I feel. And that's how I feel. And take them all. I have lupus. It's hard. Oh, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. Nice to see you. Oh, I like Grandpa. I wish him to clinch his century. Wouldn't that be crazy? Hopefully I'm still alive if he does. As when you get older, you don't have that much patience. No. Because, I think, as we get older, right, we're supposed to be in our golden years, right, where our kids are grown and we're supposed to be able to just have the life of Riley, right? I smack bit so much by it's mentally and physically, yeah. And luckily I'm not that, but it's mentally exhausting. It's mentally exhausting. Hold on a second. I don't know if that's my stuff.
Yes, ma'am. This is yours, the first order.
That's not mine.
What's your name, Daniel S?
Yeah, but that's not my stuff. This isn't either. I didn't order that. I didn't order it. This is mine. Yes, this is Jay Weiss. Yeah, there's some of these that aren't mine.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is the.
Right, I got it wrong.
Yeah. I was like, this is
I'm sorry.
That's okay, these aren't mine. I was like, wait a second, that doesn't look like my stuff.
Yeah, you were right.
I think these are. Make sure. I don't think these are mine either.
Good thing you called it, huh?
Some of mine.
I think you the wrong stuff, huh?
I'll take some of it, but. Want me to look to make sure?
Huh?
Are they all mixed up?
No, I'm just doing it wrong.
Oh. Sorry.
But you a trainer?
No. Hell no.
No.
All right, I just gotta make sure I get my stuff. He was gonna give me the wrong stuff. Ed could bury us all. We've said that from day one, honestly. And we are 15 years in with Mill, and she just turned 65. Yikes, it's a lot. And I've been walking away from checkout without my bags, and they remind me.
It's all yours, man.
Thank you. Have a good day. Yeah, read books. Actually, reading books, they say, is one way to help combat dementia. Let's see. He needs new faces. That's not how dementia works. New faces. That's not how things work. You know, they get used to the faces they see, and that's their comfort. So no, I mean, when you guys don't know about the disease, it's best to just keep and stay in your area and not speak on things you don't know. Uh, Chanel speaks French. Yeah. Dan's on a walk. Grandpa's fine. I'm not saying homes are all bad. No, but it's not something we believe in. Why not have a part-time caregiver 3 times a week? For what? For what? Out of curiosity, for what? Who made me an expert? Ed, Mary. Ed made me the expert on him. Yeah. I've been around Ed for 40 years. So I think I'm definitely the expert when it comes to Ed. Did I see your comment, Kelly? No. You guys, if you think TikTok is going down that quickly, that's not how it works. Look into the judicial system and learn how those things work. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. We had no choice, but we would bring her home. She needed 2 people and a machine to lift her. Yeah, that's heavy. 30 years. Thanks for the hard work. Being a CNA is horribly tough too. When he can't take care of his toileting, then it's time for a home. Who said? That's rude. My kids had trouble with toileting too. I didn't put them in a home. I only want praise? No. Why would I want that? I give her twice a week. But the thing is that there's no point of having a caregiver right now for us because we're both home. What would a caregiver do for us? We would be here and he wouldn't listen to the caregiver. Hey, Gav. He wouldn't listen to the caregiver because he would see us here. Hi, G. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, oh, Mary, because you worked in a nursing home, so therefore you are the master of all. Okay. Seems reasonable. It seems reasonable that you know more about Ed than I do. Yes. I've known him for 40 years. Yeah. A caregiver would be no relief for us. Thank you, Shane. It would not be any relief for us right now. You guys, caregivers just, you don't know Ed, and it's not that simple. I'm not going to hire a caregiver when it's not necessary. But I got to save the money for when it is necessary, and we need that. Yeah, and having a stranger in my house, you guys, while I'm here and while he's still mobile, I mean, what would be the use? We're here anyway. We would hear and see everything. It's just like having a nighttime nurse. My room is 2 feet from him. Having a stranger sitting that close to me at night when he's still up and down all night long and is uncomfortable. It just doesn't work that way. Waiting until, yeah, it's 100% necessary. That's the whole thing. And you're doing it. Thank you, Kimbo. I appreciate it. Hello, Dino. Thank you. I worked in a nursing home, so you're an expert. And that's what's funny is that, you know, people think, you know, I'm an expert at this. You're really not, unless you become an expert with who you manage and who you deal with, because nobody knows the personalities of who you're watching, right? Unless you're here 24/7. And I've known him for 40 years. I know his personality. I know what makes him tick. I know what his eyes say. I know the glares. I know when he's sad, you know? I know when he's worried. I know when he's concerned. I know all those things. I know Ed like the back of my hand. Mom, with all my soul, oh, sorry about your loss. It's every single person. Yeah, you're really not, because you could be trained, right? Anything black and white, I can read it. Doesn't mean I understand it unless you're hands-on with it. And, you know, you don't know until you're here with the person. So it is about knowing him, knowing his stubbornness, knowing how I need to be firm. Do you think you could be Do you think you could be a pussyfooting around Ed and be sweet all the time? Yeah, no, because he's a control freak. He is the boss, and he, like last night. Last night. Thank you, Kim. Um, Last night he wanted me, and he was ordering me around, and he was doing this, and he said this, and I said, hell no, it's not going to work that way, buddy. Those lights are on for a reason, right? Those lights are, he bulldozes somebody. You've got to be firm, and you've got to be direct with that man. Now, there's certain times you don't have to be. Certain times he's sweet as a pie, but I've already had it for the day because he's already put me through the ringer. It's life, right? It's life. Yeah. I could tell you this 100%. If I found the best home on the planet for Ed, right? Hands down, the best home, the top caregivers, the top CNAs, the top nurses, the top doctors, you're just mad because you think he was like that to your mother. Tammy, that's an ugly thing to say. And for somebody who doesn't know my relationship or my mom's relationship with Ed, you only know what I've shared. That's an ugly, ugly, ugly thing to say. And you may not talk about my mother. You don't have that right. Anybody wants to bring up my mom in an ugly way, you're going to be blocked and you're going to be reported. That is plain right ugly. I don't even know what I was going to say about Ed. What was I saying before that ugly comment came up? The audacity people have to use my mom in something. What was I saying before that? Oh, thank you, Suzanne. I know that if it was hands down the most expensive place on the planet because the top-notch care, they would have to medicate Dan. Him too. But they would have to medicate. Sorry, that comment just really pisses me off. They would have to medicate him. Thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, Cheryl did meet my mom. You did. You knew her a lot. They would have to medicate him. Well, they need to medicate Dan too. They would have to medicate Ed. And he would die. Because he needs his family. That's why I'm sacrificing that for him. As hard as it is for me, and if it fucking kills me, I am doing it because I know, Dan's right in a lot of ways, and I'm not doing any of my arms, in a lot of ways that, the one thing, despite him being an ass, right, is that man bent over backwards for his family. Would do anything for his family. That's probably one of the most redeeming qualities he had, right? Is he would, even me, right? Even me back in the day, if I was in trouble, he would hands down go and do anything for me. As much as I'm in this slump right now, and as much as I hate every minute of it right now because I'm tired and my body is doing what it's doing, I could never do that to him. But man, he pisses me off. We just need, Dan and I need a better routine, I think, to help me, I guess, be hopefully more sane. Hate is a strong word. And most of you know when I say hate, I don't mean it the way it's meant to be. I'll put Dan in one. I can't do this again. I can't do this again. So Dan better not get sick with dementia because there is no way. I told Dan, I said, you ruined this for you. So Do I hate it? Yeah, some moments I do hate it. Sorry. And because I feel that strongly. And I'm pitting myself sometimes because, yeah, I do. I shouldn't, this is not where I was supposed to be, you know? But it's where I am and it's where I will be until the day he dies, right? So I don't know. It is what it is, you guys. I'm just trudging along as best I can and trying to keep my sanity while doing it. Whatever's left. And I'm being honest. This is my, this is my fucking shit. And then people try to correct me on how I feel. It's like, people, you aren't here, you aren't me. And I'm okay. I own everything I say. I don't feel guilty about anything I say. Why? It's my truth. It's my feelings, you know? But you have a choice if you're unhappy. No, I don't. Terry, not at this point. I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. Because I know I'm not taking him to a home. So no, I don't have a choice. So anyhow, I guarantee the weird thing is you're going to miss Ed so much when he's gone. Oh yeah. My friend said, that's one of my friends said. My friend said, I hope, and she meant this with the best intentions. She said, I hope you die first. Then she started laughing. I was like, wait, what, did you just say that? She goes, well, you know what I mean. And I said, what do you mean? Because I'm so confused. She goes, because, oh, there she is. Because she said, I'm scared of the day that he dies. I'm scared of the day he dies for you. So I kind of hope you die before him. And all I could do was laugh. Not that it would be, but if Dan wanted a home for Ed, would you fight it? I would. I mean, I think I would. I mean, as much as many days I'd be like, I think it's time. I couldn't do it. I could not drop him off and leave him there. That would be a really hard thing for me. I could cry just thinking about it. Even on my most frustrating days, and I told him yesterday, I got really mad at him yesterday because he was driving me nuts about a wallet. And he was resetting every 2 fucking seconds. And I wasn't going to give him his fucking wallet because his pants were already falling down. And the fucking wallet is a distraction. And so many times he fiddles with his fucking wallet. By Suzanne. And he trips and he does things because he's fucking fiddling with his fucking wallet in his back pocket, and I was just not gonna give in to him yesterday. And it was driving me fucking nuts. And he looked at me with those eyes. Those eyes, you know, those condescending eyes that he had. And he said, why do I need to listen to you? And I gave him those eyes back. And I said, because I am the boss. This is my house. These are my rules. And if you don't want to follow them, then you need to find somewhere else to live. And he sat down and he looked at me. Your house, huh? Condescending eyes again. And I said, yeah, my house. Do you like living here? And he said, well, yeah. I said, do you want to continue living here? Well, yeah. All right, then. Then you better listen to me. He said, all right. All right. I have to say that sometimes. You're right. I have to say that sometimes because you know why? Because I know Ed, and because Ed needs that sometimes. Because he needs reality orientation, and because he just looks at me like a little girl. He looks at me like a little girl, and he doesn't think he needs to listen to me. And You have to be stern. Has Dan ever said, yeah, yeah. Dan has said stuff like that to him. Of course. Ed is stubborn. You guys need to get that through your head. You sometimes have to. Well, I've told him, you don't want to take your pills? Then you have to go. You have to go. You have to find a new place to live. Or you have to go to the hospital. I pretty much said, you have to go to the hospital. You have to go to the hospital. Well, I don't want to go to the hospital. Well, then you won't take your pills. I have to take you. I've been directed by your doctor, Dr. Wong, that if you don't take your pills at my house, then you have to go to the hospital immediately. Immediately. Mark had it worse, Bromas. Mark had it worse than me. Mark had it worse than me. Mark would get so frustrated. Mark would call Dan bitching and complaining. And he would be like, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him, So yeah, it's tough because he, wants that ultimate control. We need support from, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Yeah, you have to be stern with him. And you've always had to be. I mean, you think I'm doing something. Some people say, they think I'm doing something so erroneous, so just horrible, and I'm such a bad woman for doing it, right? But I'm not. I show what I do. I'm not ashamed of what I do because it's necessary with what I do. Somebody said something earlier. She said, I'm sure you love Ed and you work hard, but it's the way you come off sometimes. Okay, but did you ever stop to think about what I am dealing with? Right? No. You just are focused on me and you don't look at how he responds to me in those situations. You never look and think about when anybody tells me that I come off curt or well, do you ever think about how many times I've already gone through this, right? What my day has been like, what his day has been like. Have you ever thought, I wonder why, if she tried it simpler or if she had to get that way? No, you just jump on my case for being a bitch. You just jump on my case for being a bitch, which is really judgy in your eyes of somebody who's not doing my job. Everything I do because I know what works. Or what I was doing before wasn't working. And so when I'm taking out the video camera, I think, oh, I'm going to take this, I'm going to do this. My patience may not be 100%. No, because whose is? Y'all are so afraid of what it is for real life caregiving because some people show you only the good moments. I'm not showing you just the good moments. I'm showing you the in-between moments and the not so good moments because I'm not ashamed of what I'm doing or how I'm doing it. That's why I post. Some of you guys say, I can't believe you would post this. Do you ever watch your videos? Well, yeah. I don't see anything wrong with the video. And do you notice my husband never sees anything wrong with the video either? Why is that? Because he's well aware of how I communicate with his father. So every person is different. Nobody will understand unless they deal with the person they are dealing with, right? There is no textbook thing. There's no textbook way to handle anything. You can watch all the teachers on dementia. You can watch all the Alzheimer's, professionals and all that stuff. But unless they have actually worked with a loved one or somebody 24/7, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because, it's just like the same thing I've talked about. I am not going to go to a trauma specialist who hasn't had the same traumas and teaches and helps me with traumas that they have no idea about. Because I want somebody who's had the same experience as I have. Or how the hell can you tell me how to be better and how to get over it if you have not done or experienced the same thing I experienced? I could read a textbook too. I want experience. And it's not it's case by case. Everybody is different. you need to be respectful, right? You need to be respectful of the people doing it, and know that if you're only seeing, right? If you're only seeing the happy stuff, if you're only seeing the happy stuff, you got to question yourself, because I can tell you it's not all happy. There's no instructions. Now, there's that, the young, and I have become very jaded with certain things, right? When on social media, I laugh sometimes. Could be like Kara. She's young. She's spunky. Her background is, dementia care, how to respond to people with dementia. I watch her because I think it's great. I mean, she's trying to help people, guide them, but I laugh because a lot of the things she tells people to do wouldn't work with it. Wouldn't work with it. I laugh because I'm like, and sometimes I'll try them just for shits and giggles, because I know, he'll look at me weirdly, or he'll kind of, what the fuck is wrong with you type of a thing. Those things work well with certain individuals, but all those things do not work for every individual, and I just feel like because I'm doing it, I want the same people to be doing it. I want them experienced in it. I want them living it 24/7 before they preach on how to do things all the time, And sometimes I feel like she's talking to me. I kind of laugh because I'm sure she watches me and finds many faults with what I am doing. But it's about where Joanne is. And I'm sure she would criticize me for everything I do, probably, because I don't fit within her box. And Ed doesn't fit within the box, So it's just, and I just sometimes feel like if you don't have that experience living it and breathing it, it's hard to really talk on it and know it, And it just makes me sad, because I hope she understands, and people like her who do teach it and who haven't had much experience understands that, like, not every situation is the same. And I feel like they should know, and also state that, like, this may not help with everybody, but because I feel like they are judgy a little bit, because they've been taught how to deal it with black and white bookings. And I just don't think that it's always associated, or can be associated with. You do like Fiona did when her mother was alive. She showed the real thing. Yeah. And I love what Cam did the other day. She said, no judgment. What did she say? No judgment. Does anybody I know, no judgment. What'd she say? No judgment, no something else. And then she said how she was feeling. And I just went on her thing and I said, no judgment, girl, because I feel the same things, And that's the truth behind caregiving. Her, when she's bearing her soul in the car, right? When she's got tears in her eyes. When, we're at our wit's end, we're sick and we're falling apart at the seams. That is real life. It's not all rainbows and flowers. Mostly it's tears. We listen and we don't judge, yeah. And we pull out our hair and we want to bang our heads against the wall. We have visions of strangling sometimes. We have, why I want to, you're going to move out, and it's okay. It's okay. Can't help it. Can't help it. It is not textbook. And to the people who think it is, take a hike. Take a hike. Anyhow, all right, I'm done. I gotta put my frozen foods away. It's so difficult. I feel like, hi Jeff, I feel lately very beaten up. More than I ever have. more than I ever have. It's not always respectful, Barbara. It's not always respectful. He's not always respectful. We just don't show it. Remember that. Don't assume. But mostly he is. Mostly he is. But, you know, when he's being angry at me, he yells at me, he gets feisty at me because I'm just a woman. Remember, I'm a little girl that he doesn't have to listen to until I set it straight. And that's why I say my house, right? Oh, I would die if I got bit. My house. My rules. And then he says, okay, because he knows he has no control. So, no, he gets ugly with me. But you also have to remember, you know, there's Hummingbird again. Hi, Mom. Bye, Mom. Those moments are crazy to me. Remember the last time the hummingbirds flew in here? I was having another serious conversation, and so now it just came in, it looked at me and ran away. That was my mommy. She knows I'm struggling. I forgot. I don't remember what I was gonna say. That was my mommy, though. She knows. She knows I'm struggling. She knows I'm struggling. Yeah, Eileen, sometimes they come, and I think the more we want them here, the more they don't come, but the least time we don't expect it, that's when they show up. My mom is probably very impressed. Yeah, she's very proud of me, honestly. You know, she's very proud of me. But just remember, for everybody, you know, when you see the truth behind the eyes of a caregiver, you know, there's a lot of emotions. We have a lot of hurt. We're tired. There's a lot of things that are going on. And it does feel sometimes like we can't do it anymore, but we do it out of the respect of the loved ones that we have, right? And that's why we're not eager to throw them in a home, because we know that they would do the same thing for us, ultimately. So, love you guys. Love you guys. Hang tough for all of you guys who are in the same boat as me. We've got this. It just seems so lonely and so debilitating at times, but we keep trudging, and that's the only way to get through it. So try to keep your heads up. Find things that make you happy. Surround yourself with the love you need to keep you going. And find some things you like to do and get breaks. I'm going to go to the casino this week. I need a couple hours to myself for sure. So Thursday, I probably, if nothing, and I get I get shots tomorrow. So I'm excited in my jaw and all my trigger points because I need it. That's my reprieve because I'm stressed. What you're going through is the pattern. It is a pattern. It goes up and down. I'm all over the place. I'm like one of those, you know, when you let a balloon go and the balloon's running into things and bumping into things and hitting walls. That's me. That's me. I sometimes don't even know how I make it through the day, but that's okay. Love you guys. Remember, you are important. You are worthy and you matter, and your feelings are just that, yours. You guys try not to tell people how they should feel or what they should be feeling. That's not for you to say. Feelings come from within. And unless you live within that person, take a seat. Anyway, love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'll probably be on earlier because I have to leave. My appointment's about an hour away. So love you guys. Keep your heads up.